So, the old Dewalt battery powered strimmer. Any good? Or a load of pants? As you can see, she has been abused. I've had about a week on it, and yeah, so far so good. It's done what I wanted it to do, to be fair. So there's a couple of little niggles with it that I'm not that keen on. The guard is just way too big. It's just horrible. So I've actually ordered another guard for it. In fact, it's arrived today, so we're going to have a quick look at that as well. Is this as good as a petrol? Do you know what? It's pretty close. I don't think you could use it to, you know, strim a field, but, you know, bit of overgrown stuff, daily maintenance stuff, happy days. It does what it does. It's happy. High speed, low speed, I don't quite get that. Low speed 5,000 RPMs, high speed 5,500 RPMs. It doesn't really, I don't get it. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I just leave it on high. It doesn't, variable speed anyway, so I don't understand. You know, if it was a decent increase, I'd understand it, but 500 doesn't really make a lot of difference. Yeah, so not quite understanding what's going on with that. The battery, I have bought a copied battery. Dewalt's in the van, but this one's got. I'll show you. This one's got 4 bars on it, and so far it's been okay. 75 quid. It was for a copied battery. £75. What was I going to say to you? Okay, yeah. So charged it up a couple of times, and then noticed that on the original Dewalt battery, I'm going to go and get the original Dewalt. Wait a minute. Okay, I'm back. I've got the original. Well, this is not the original actually. This is actually a replacement, because on about the 3rd charge, it was only showing 2 bars for some reason. Don't know why. It would only show 2 bars. Anyway, rang up Dewalt, and there is a Dewalt authorised repair specialist just down the road from me. He basically said, take it down there, and I took it down there, and he says, there's nothing wrong with the battery's fine, it's just the LED's gone. We'll order you a new one, and when it comes in we'll just swap it. And it took 2 days, and they swapped it, and happy days for that. The battery is warranted for 1 year. The machine, if you register it, you get a 3-year warranty with the machine. So that's that. You compare the batteries. I mean, sorry about the mess. Yeah, have a look. Just clear some of this rubbish. So, if you compare the batteries in size, Dewalt is obviously bigger. And Dewalt's a lot, I won't say a lot heavier, but it is heavier. But yeah, she is a bigger battery. No 2 ways about it. It's supposed to be the same ampere hours, 9 ampere hours, 54 volt, 18 volt. It's supposed to be the same thing, and it works okay so far. I say it was 75 quid, and they're about 120, something like that. If you're lucky, you can find them for 100 quid. So kind of went with that for the comparison. One battery lasted, I did 1, 2, 3, 3.5 gardens. I'd say one of them was a large garden, one was a well, no, one small garden, 2 large gardens, and 1 medium garden. It cut out halfway through the last one, so it did 3.5 gardens, as I said. Oh, wounded. How many gardens did I say? Anyway, roughly it lasted for 2 large gardens and 1 small garden, then it cut out. So it's got quite a bit in there, but as I say, if you're doing more than, depending on what you're doing obviously, but if you're just doing small little gardens, probably 1 might last you, I don't know. But I would say definitely 2 to be on the safe side. 2 batteries will probably last you all day, as long as, like I say, as long as you're not strimming fields down. If you're strimming fields down, then forget it, it's not going to happen. Think about that. The strimmer head can be a bit fiddly to load. It seems to, unless you get the wire really straight, it just, you end up taking the cap off to load it up, because it's a bit of a pain. Performance wise, I really like it. Not quite sure why it's sold as a split shaft, because the split shaft is, you can't, because there's wires through it. It doesn't, you can't connect anything to it. It's a strimmer and that's it. Maybe put a bush cutter blade on it, but yeah, I don't know why they're selling it as a split shaft. I mean, you can split it and bend it around, but say the wires are in there. If you're going to do that every day, it's going to just end up messy, innit? I would say forget that. Just leave it as it is. Let me show you the new guard, and then we'll do the changing of guard. So the new guard, the only place I could find one was in America, Kentucky. It came from. It did end up costing £25 all in delivered. I mean, the actual guard itself was about £8, and the rest of it was just in shipping. So, but it's the only, I could not find one in the UK anywhere. And it's not off this model; it's off a different model, but they are basically the same. So this is the new guard. This is in inches. The only difference, I think, is it's got this little cap on there, this little knobbly bit there. That's the only difference I can see. But let's whip the old one off. We're still running. We're still running. So let's whip the old one off, and I will show you the difference. And, do it without breaking it. So I don't know whether the strimmer heads are. It seems okay. It's worked okay so far. So these caps are slotted, so you can't put a different cap on from a different machine. It's got to be a Dewalt one. They're only for this machine, so it's not like you can take one off petrol and put it on. It won't fit. It's got a slot groove. So there's a bit of useless information for you. So let's have a look. Yeah, say the only place I could find one was in America. So I've had it shipped. It only took about a week. It wasn't long at all. It wasn't long at all. It was very, very quick. Got it today. But the difference is, yeah, quite staggering, if I'm honest with you. So sit there. Can you see? That is the old guard. That's the new guard. That's a bit of a difference, isn't it? Let me show you that way. You'll see how different it is. It is very, very small. say 38 centimetres on the old one, 15 inches on the new one. It's the same, just 1 inches, 1 centimetres. But the difference in size is thingy. Say the holes all the same, fittings the same. The only difference is that little nubbly bit. I suppose you could either cut it off, or I'm pretty sure that we are going to be, because it just basically holds the wires in. So yeah, I think we're good to go. Just fit it. Just fit it. Looks alright to me. Can't see this doing any effect to the warranty whatsoever. It's the same size, doesn't make any difference. So it's a genuine Dewalt guard as well. As I say, it's just off a different model. Don't know what it is, whether in the UK we have to have some kind of a big guard or what, but in America they seem to have smaller ones. I'm not quite sure what that's about, but anyway, I've got it. It's a smaller guard, because I was even contemplating just taking the guard off altogether, because it's just annoying. It's too big. But I put my sensible head on and tried to find an alternative, and as I say, that's what I came up with. And that's it, that's the guard fitted. And the difference is, whoa! The difference is quite remarkable, as you can see. Yeah. Let's get the old one out as well. Where's the old one gone? There's the old one. So, can you see that very well? I don't know if you can see that very well, but yeah, the guard is dramatically smaller. So, it should work just the same. Can't see any reason why. Yeah, so happy days. The difference is massive, absolutely massive. And that's that. That's the guard. That's the guard changed. That's the changing of guard. Now, asking yourself, aren't you? Oh, do I really need one? Should I really buy one? Well, to be honest with you, you know when you get over the shock of the price, when you get past that shock of the price, and you start doing the figures and the maths and all the rest of it, to be honest, you're mad not to have one these days, because there's no fuel to buy for this. There's no two-stroke to buy for this. There's no lubrication to buy for this. There's no oil to buy for this. It is basically maintenance free, apart from just giving it a bit of a clean. There's no stress with this. It's out, you turn it on and you go. It doesn't make the noise of a two-stroke. I mean, to be honest, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. As I say, you know, you're trimming a field down, then probably not. But for maintenance jobs, for your average homeowner with a large garden, I mean, fantastic, really good, really happy with it so far. As I say, the problem that I did have with Dewalt, with the battery, they just literally no problem. The authorised dealer is down there. Go and see him, swap it over, and I'm done. And I did, and that was it. So I don't even know what else I can say to you. The trigger system's nice. It works nice. It's okay. It's really good for doing edging. Really good. You know, with petrol sometimes it's just too much. But this, you've got a bit more control with it, I think. I'm not trying to sell you this. There's no interest in me trying to sell you this. I'm not going to earn any money. If you go out and buy this tomorrow, I don't earn any money from it. It doesn't make any difference to me. This is just me trying to help others out. Like I get help from other people. You know, if I look at buying something, I go and look at reviews and stuff like that, and make my decisions that way. Because the worst thing you can do is buy something, and then you get it and you think, oh, this is crap, or I hate it, or it's just not for me. That's just the worst thing. And to be honest with you, when I did get it to start off with, it took a little bit of getting used to, because it's just a different thing compared to petrol. But once you get used to it, it's really good. I can't fault it. And with that small guard on, I'm hoping it should be a lot better and easy to handle as well. So, yeah, happy days. Dewalt battery strimmer. Thumbs up so far. Happy days.